Okay, welcome. Today we are going to go over a mini project that we have been doing over the last couple days. This is the final product here. Now, it is not 100% refined, finished, and in fact, I only have the one sound. I don't have a sound when I run into an enemy, but if you look up here, this is how many points we have. This is how many lives we have left, and it's a very basic game, but it's still a game. So let me show you how to put it together. Okay, so here I have a blank canvas, and I'm just here in the sandbox. I'm not anywhere else, but I have a blank canvas, so we need to do everything. Everything here is starting from scratch. So the first thing I want to do is I want to create a player. I want something that I can move around, that I can manipulate. So I'm going to create a player by naming it player. And this is important. If I just put a circle up here, because that's eventually what my player is just going to look like. It's going to be very basic. If I just put a circle up here, I'm not going to be able to manipulate it. It's just going to kind of stay there. But if I name it player, I can manipulate this function that I'm calling player to do what I want it to do. So here we go. I got player. Let's do circle. And the first two numbers of the circle are their location. So I want it right in the middle and pretty close to the top. So right in the middle on the X factor is 200. And pretty close to the top, let's do 25. The radius, how big it is, let's also do 25. Let's see what that gets us. And then fill, let's make it blue. And let's put a black border on it. Run it, and woo, that's way too big. Okay, let's bring that down to 15. That's still kind of big. Let's bring it down to 10. All right, that's nice. All right, so it's kind of small, but I kind of like it. That's pretty much what I want it to do. So now I need to be able to move this guy around. All right, I want to be able to use W, A, S, and D to move my blue dot around, because that's going to be my main player. So we got to do an on key hold. So we're going to define on key hold. Now make sure that when you're doing on key hold, the K is capitalized and the H is capitalized. That's called camel typing, where the first letter is lowercase and everyone else is uppercase. It's pretty much the opposite of how we write today. So on key hold, keys. Make sure you have a colon here, all right? If you don't put a colon there, you're going to get an error, and then you're going to wonder what the heck's going on. Just put a colon there. Okay, so define on key hold keys. So if I use, lowercase I, if I use the letter W, I want my guy to go up. So W in keys, if W is within keys, then player dot center Y. I'm affecting the center Y if I'm going up. Remember, Y is up and down, X is left and right. So player dot center Y is going to be minus equals 5. So that means for every step that it takes, it's going to go upwards 5 pixels. Okay, that's kind of hard to see because it goes off the screen right away. So let me do a down. If S in keys, player dot center Y minus plus equals 5. Okay, now, there it goes down and there it goes up. Now this 5 kind of controls your speed. If you want it super fast, I'll double my speed real quick. All right, obviously it's going much faster. I want it ridiculously fast. All right. That's just a little too much. I like to choose probably between 5 and 10, but in this case, I'll do 5. And obviously, you could go super slow as well with 1. And there it goes. So it goes really slow. That's a little annoyingly slow. So that's why I like to do 5. But anyway, we have up and down. Let's do left and right. If A is in keys, then player dot center this time x, because x, as we know, is left and right. Center x minus equals 5. And last, if D is in keys, player.center x plus equals 5. All right, now I can move my guy around pretty much wherever I want. You can go diagonally, all that good stuff. Okay, but that doesn't really do anything. Great, we have a circle that can move. Wow, wonderful, cool. We need an objective. We need something to kind of do. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to include a pickup, an object that I could go in here and grab and pretty much have my score go up eventually. So I'm going to do a pickup. This pickup is, it could be whatever you want. I like to do a star. I'm going to do a 3-pointed star, but you can have it be pretty much whatever you want. So star, I'm going to have it start right in the middle at 200, 200. I'm going to have it have 3 points. Well, hold on. I need to do radius first. I want my radius to be smaller than my player. So right now, my player's radius is at 10. Let's have my star radius at 7. And I want to have 3 points. Fill is going to be red. And the border is going to be black again. All right, so there it is. You could barely see it's red. So I'm going to make my border width equal 0.5. Okay. So there we go. Excellent. So if I run it, I can do nothing. All right. I do have this other image here, but I really cannot do anything with it at all. I need it to pretty much move once I collect it. Okay. I collect it and then it moves somewhere. That's kind of the goal here. So under on key hold, I'm going to do if my player hits the shape of the pickup, then the pickup goes to a random spot. So, if the player dot hits shape of the pickup, this pickup needs to go somewhere else. Now, the way you do that randomly is you use something called rand range, R-A-N-D-R-A-N-G-E. So, pickup dot center x equals rand range. Now, this is a range of numbers. You're going to put 2 numbers in here, and the computer will pick a random number between those 2 numbers that you get. So I want it to be within 25 pixels of each side. So it's going to be 25 and 375. It's 375 because there are 400 pixels going all the way across, and 25 less than 400 is 375. And I'll do that for center Y as well. And now when I run into this thing, I can kind of chase it around. So I have a bit of an objective. It's very basic, but it's still a bit of an objective. Okay, so I have an objective, great, but it still doesn't really do anything. I'm going to now add a score up here in the top corner. So to add a score, I got to call it score. I guess you don't have to call it score. You could call it points. You could call it objectives. You could call it elephants. It doesn't really matter what you call it, but just know that if you want to change it, you need to use exactly what you wrote up here. So if you accidentally put a capital C in there, well, guess what? That's now how you have to write it with the capital C. So I like to keep it all lowercase just to keep it simple, and let's do a label. All right, this label is going to be sitting up here. I want it to start at 0 because that's how many points we usually start with. So label is starting with 0. And then I put in the location. The first location is the X, and that's going to come all the way over here. Let's make it 375. And then the third number is the location of Y. Let's bring it down 25. And let's just change the size. Size equals 30 just to make it a little bit bigger. Okay, now I have a 0 up here. If I really want to get fancy with it, I can make another label that says score and then 2 dots, but I'm going to try to keep it as basic as possible. So if I run it, still nothing. The score doesn't go up. All right, we need to add 1 last line of code here to make our score go up, and it's going to go like this. Under the if player hits shape, so whenever the player hits the shape, we want the score to go up. I'm going to do score dot value. Okay, this first number here, this is in the value position. This is value, this is X, this is Y. So value, we want value to change. Score dot value plus equals 1. So every time I run into this guy, I go up by a score of 1. All right, so we have the general outline of our game. So far, so good. It's nice and clean. We have a clear objective to collect these pieces that come up. And yeah, that's about that. On the next video, I'll introduce an enemy that we are going to try to avoid, and I'll do a background and all that good stuff. So take your time, make it look good, and I'll see you on the next video.